Friends, YouTube friends, we're here talking about February 2024. I'm filming this really late because there were some purchases that I made with my birthday haul that I had to be ordered and took a little while to get here. So I wanted to wait for them to all arrive before I filmed my video so I could show you all the things I bought. So it is super late, and because of that, I can't even remember what I have to talk about. I know I took videos and stuff. I know I have some splicey videos to toss in, but I can't even remember what those are. It's been over a month since some of those were filmed. So we're going to try and make it through this together. If you're here for the birthday haul, there is going to be obviously a birthday haul section in the chapters, but also I did make some non-birthday related purchases this month. So check those out. Two decks are included in that. So don't forget to check those out if you're here for the decks. They'll also be mentioned in the chapters. So first things first, February is my birthday month. The whole month of February is my birthday. I'm one of those. Not really, but I like to think of it that way. I just don't make anyone else. I don't make it about me for everyone else. So I think of February as my birthday month. It's a me month, but it's at the beginning of the month. So because of that, that's one of the ones I'm having trouble remembering. So we're going to start with memories, starting with my birthday, because it is the 8th of February. So it's way in the beginning. I really wanted to just do one thing for my birthday. It was a bucket list item. It's the most insignificant little thing, but I really wanted to get a mimosa flight from this restaurant a couple towns over. I've never been able to do it because I'm always driving. So they have a latte flight as well, which I have done in the past, and it is delicious. But I really had a hankering for their mimosa flights. Yes, it comes in flights. So you get to pick your flavors, and can't remember the ones I picked. They're in the photo. It was delicious. It was very worth it. Then after that, my mom and I did some shopping at the mall. I ran around and got all my freebies. I'm a birthday freebie person. You get your free Starbucks, you get a free booster juice, Sephora gift. Always. I always get the Sephora gift. And you can get these gifts, just it doesn't have to be on your birthday. The Starbucks one, yes. Maybe the booster juice one, yes. But the Sephora one is like the whole month of Sephora, your birthday. You can just go in and grab it. I like to make it a tradition and do it on my birthday. It's something I like to do on my birthday. I take the day off from work every year because there's been times where I haven't done it and have majorly regretted it. So now going forward, I just take the whole day off. So I do my mall run and I get all my free stuff, and it's super fun. I also received money from relatives. So with my birthday money, I made some purchases, which will be in the birthday haul section. So we're not going to talk about those purchases until that chapter. But then my mom and I went to one of my favorite crystal stores north of where I live. So we made the trek up there and checked out that store, and I didn't make any purchases, but my mom did make a purchase for me, which will be in the birthday haul section. So that was really nice. It was just an overall really nice day, and I got to have my mimosa flight, singular. I only had one flight. The other kind of memory, I guess, is that I made a Venus in transit journal and I filmed it, which was weird because it's not my regular content. I don't consider myself a content creator, so I don't really have a niche. I don't really care about if I'm posting something that's not my regular content. So this was a bit off the wall for me, but it was a really fun experience. And I got the idea from Pure Red Velvet. She had posted in the Discord that she wanted to do a Venus in transit study for 2024. And I've never done anything like that. I've never done a deck and walk or anything like this. So this was something I thought would be just dipping my toes into astrology a little bit. Just one planet, following it through the signs for the year, and just to kind of learn a little bit. I mean, you really only are learning about the one planet, but you're learning about the other signs as it goes through the signs. So I thought it was a really good intro to trying to follow these planets throughout the year. And I think next year I'll do a different one, or maybe I'll add. So next year I'll do Venus plus Mars or whatever, if I think I can handle it. It's like how I used to study in my anatomy class. So I would start with the muscles of the bones at the top, memorize the one, okay? Then you add the other. Now you memorize two. then you add a third. Now you're memorizing 3. So I might try and do it like that in the years going forward. Seems like a very long process, but it might work. You don't know. And then I also discovered in my Celestial Journal by Saint Soleil, I did read the guide section beforehand, but I think a lot of it must have clearly gone over my head because it has this whole section where it talks about Venus, and then it talks about the Venus transits, and it does this for every planet. So I'm definitely, I was never planning on throwing this out. This was always going to be something I keep, but going forward, it will be something that helps me as well. So it talks about Venus in Aries, Venus in Cancer, Venus in Leo, Venus in Taurus. So this will be a helpful piece of information going forward because I was struggling with the Venus in transits just because I'm not well versed in astrology or even the zodiac signs and what traits each zodiac sign is. So that was a bit of a struggle for me, and I found I had to go to YouTube videos where other people are talking about what this Venus in transit means for you in your house. So there's all kinds of things that are added. So, but it's been really fun, and I've really enjoyed the creative process of every month making that journal. That being said, I can be very hard on myself when it comes to the creative process. Like, I will see something on Pinterest. I'm like, okay, I'm going to try and copy that same layout. Obviously the information would be different, but then I can't make it quite the same. It doesn't look as good as theirs. And I found I've really been hard on myself for that. So I that's something I need to work on. I definitely need to work on. It's perfect for me. It might not be exactly what the picture is, but just let it go and do your crafting and embrace it, and it'll look good. It's not going to look terrible. It will look fine. So that's something that I really need to work on for myself. But the journal was really fun, and I am looking forward to keeping that up throughout the year. It's a once a month journal process. It's not something you got to do every day or every week. It's a once a month thing. So I'm still, I've only done it a couple times now, but I'm still enjoying it. The next memory involves Family Day weekend here in Canada, which I think falls on the President's Day weekend in the States. Could be wrong. So we have a long weekend in February devoted to Family Day weekend. So this year I did have family come visit from 4 hours-ish away, and they wanted to go to the Ripley's Aquarium in Toronto. So we've been there. My mom and I have been there a couple of times now, and it's really interesting. It's very large. It's a huge aquarium, and lots of things to look at, lots of information to read about on the walls, on the posters and stuff. But what's really cool about this aquarium is that there's this tunneled section where it is an aquarium all above you, and you wind and twist through this tunnel, but you're on a conveyor belt type thing. So you just stand there with your cameras and looking and whatever, and it brings you in and out throughout these tunnels, and you're underneath the aquarium. So you're looking at these things swimming above you, all on both sides of you. And it's actually quite a lengthy little journey. It's quite a long trek through this tunnel. So that was really pretty. And it was just so fun seeing my family who'd never been there before get to witness it and marvel in the beauty as well. However, being Family Day weekend, it was insanely busy. It was so busy. It was very difficult to read the information on the plaques and on the posters and on the wall because it was just, there were so many people in front of you, so many people in the way. So I'm not the kind of person that typically does stuff on weekends for that reason. Like, I would take a vacation day to go do that during the week when it's probably not as busy. Well, definitely not as busy. So it was very hot, and it was a little frustrating at times being shoulder to shoulder people. But the benefit of that tunnel is that everyone's just standing still, and the conveyor belt is moving for you. So that was a nice experience. There is a section where you can walk through it on your own. You're not forced to use the conveyor belt, but the people on the conveyor belt are just on the conveyor belt. You're not bumping into other people. People aren't bumping into you. The people who are walking are behind you. So it was a really cool experience, and I really enjoyed doing that with my family, seeing all the cute things, all the seahorses and piranhas. And the piranhas actually are like, they have like rose gold flecks on them. I didn't realize how pretty piranhas were. It's kind of cool. So that is it for memories. And then The other thing briefly we're going to touch on is what I'm reading and what I'm watching. Super, super brief. I have stepped into the Throne of Glass. We are done ACOTAR, and I'm now on the first book of Throne of Glass, which is The Assassin's Blade, I think. I'm not obsessed with it, but I don't hate it either. Like, I'm still enjoying listening to it. I'm finding that, because I listen on Audible, I find that work has been... there's been something crazy social about the last few weeks. I don't know if anyone else has found this, but I found that people are extremely social right now and have been for the last 3-ish weeks. As I'm filming this, it is March 9th. So for the last 3-ish weeks, people have been, I don't know if they're just, people are craving contact and conversation and connection. Not really sure, but it's been over the top social. So I've had a hard time listening to anything at work. Sometimes I listen to podcasts, I listen to my book, music, whatever. Sometimes I'll even throw on a YouTube and listen while I'm working. It hasn't happened the last few weeks. It's been impossible. So I'm still on the first book, watching True Detective Night Country, finished, I believe, in February. Can't even really remember. Pretty sure it was February. I'm one of the people that loved it. I know that there's, I find it was either you loved it or you hated it. I loved it, and I will watch it again. 100%. I will probably in the next couple of months watch it again. The other thing I started watching, and I would not have considered this a guilty pleasure, but I'm realizing the more I talk about it with other people, the more I think it is a guilty pleasure, because the second I say what it is, people roll their eyes at me. And that I bought the DVD set for the first 6 seasons because I can't find it anywhere. It's The Curse of Oak Island. I'd never heard of this. It was Family Day weekend that my uncle was telling me about this show. I had no idea what he's talking about. Like, Joe Rogan has done a podcast on this. Never even heard of it. Not that I'm a Joe Rogan listener, but I don't know. I've become really enthralled in what's going on, and I'm still on season 1, but what I found interesting was just probably 4 episodes into season 1, they start talking about the Tree of Life. I was like, hey, I know that, sort of. I don't know what it means or what all the Sephiroths, is that the right word? Not sure. I don't know what they are, but I know that that's related to the Thoth Tarot, so that was pretty cool to see that in there. The theatrics of this show, they make it seem like there's about to be a massive discovery, and I'm pretty sure to date there has not been a massive discovery. Season 1 started in like 2012, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. 2014. And I don't believe they have discovered anything major. However, that being said, their little discoveries are very curious, very, very curious, and there's not really a lot of explanation for it. So very cool. I'm really interested in it. I went old school with DVDs, so there's that. That's what I've been reading and watching. Other purchases that I made that were non-birthday related were fountain pens. I did it. I said I wasn't going to do it. Thea was talking about fountain pens a couple months ago, and I was like, I cannot allow myself to do this. But here we are. I have some fountain pens, and I did film the ones that I own and the inks that I own. Of course, leave it up to me, or us, I guess, to find a hobby where it is very easy to spend $1 million. The inks that I like, the pens that I like, I will not be spending, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to spend hundreds of dollars on a pen, because I spend hundreds of dollars on other things, and a pen cannot be one of them. So I won't allow myself to do that, but I do have a few pens, which you'll see in a second. And I do have a couple of inks. Of course, the inks that I like are the most popular ones. I'm not doing shimmer because I'm scared that they'll clog the nib, and I don't know what that means. So, and I probably would just panic and throw the pen out. But anyway, here's the footage of the pens that I have purchased. So the first pen I bought was this lovely Lamy Safari fine nib. I like the Lamy Safari because they're very light, very cheap. I don't like the shiny ones. I like the more matte ones. And this one, this is my work pen. We do a lot of red ink stuff at work, so we have to kind of use red ink for some things. So I just bought the Lamy Safari red ink cartridges to go with it. So until I make my way through those, this will be my red pen. And this is At Work. And I chose the red color not only to match the ink, but I wanted it to be easily noticeable if someone stole it and they were using it. It's not just like a normal black looking pen from afar. It's like, hey, that's my red Lamy Safari. So not that we're major pen aficionados here, but that's the fine nib. Then I followed that one up with another Lamy Safari in this purple color. It looked so much lighter purple on Amazon. I was kind of not, I mean, I love purple. It's my favorite color. So purple is purple. I love all shades of it, but I was thinking it was more light, but whatever. This one I got in extra fine. I do not notice much of a difference at all between these two guys at all. This is inked with a purple ink, which I'll show you in a second. It's my journaling pen. Because it's purple ink, I can't really use purple ink at work. I probably could. Nobody would really say anything, I don't think. But it's going to be my journaling pen, my special ritual journaling pen. And I got 2 of these to go with that. So one of those is in there inked up with the bottle ink. And then the next one I bought, I'm obsessed with. First, I'm going to show you how it came. It's a Mahjong. It's a Chinese knockoff. I think they're in a little bit of trouble right now. I think they got in trouble for copying people. It came with a dropper and 6 of these really hard to open cartridges, just plain old black. I wanted a black one for any time I needed black ink. Sometimes black ink is the way to go. I think when you're signing your signature on stuff, it should always be in black. I think I read that somewhere. Look at this. I am so obsessed. It's like a little lipstick tube size, and it's got these swirls. This was on Amazon. It was $35, but it included those 6 cartridges. So I wasn't like overly obsessed with the price of $35, but with the 6 cartridges, I was like, okay, fine. So then you twist this off, and it doesn't, like, I struggle to get the things to line up. And this is a fine nib. So you can also fill this. That's why it came with a dropper, because instead of using the cartridges, you can just fill that baby up. I'm kind of scared to do that. I also don't have like the goo that you're supposed to put here to prevent it from leaking. Like there is a rubber thing there. I mean, it's pretty tight. And that even unscrewing it, it's not unscrewing very easily. I just don't know how much faith I have in that little rubber number, but you're supposed to put, I can't remember what it is, something there, which I don't have. So I'm probably going to use the cartridges for a while with this guy, just because I feel like it was made, those cartridges were made for this guy. It's a black pen. I can toss this one in my purse. Black is universal for everything, and it's stunning. So the inks that I've bought, first I started with this guy, Harbin. They're all French names. I'm not even going to try. So this is like a pansy purple. You can see it's purpley, very purpley. I didn't love it. And this was a sample size that I got. I didn't order it off Amazon because sample sizes on Amazon are like $27. Nope. So I didn't love it. I will use it eventually. It's just I found one that I liked better. Same company. Also French name, not going to try to pronounce. This one is inked in my purple Lamy Safari, and that's the one I've been using for journaling. I really wanted like a dusty grayish purple, and that's what's in here, and I love it. So I'll show you. Beep, beep. Those are the colors. That's just way too purple. Like I said, I'll eventually use it because I have it, I bought it. I only have these 2 colors. But this one is stunning, and it's the one I do all my journaling with right now, and I love it. So the other problem I came across with fountain pens is obviously you need to have a certain type of paper for fountain pens. It works on normal paper. Like if you, even just a sticky, they work. Just this, is this Post-it brand? Yes, Post-it brand. It's fine. No big deal. This is the one I use at work. I don't even bring the purple one to work. Like they're totally fine, except almost all of the notebooks I own aren't made for fountain pens, sadly. So there's a lot of, they call it ghosting or shadowing through onto the other paper. Sometimes there's bleeding. So it's really unfortunate because I have a lot of notebooks that are queued to be used. So they're blank. I've purchased them. I purchased them a long time ago and cannot, like, I can use them, but I'm going to have to use every other page. Like, I won't be able to write on the back of pages, and that I feel so wasteful doing that. But whatever. Then I had this beautiful idea. This is a Chic Sparrow, like, little pocket thing. And I ordered these off of a girl on Etsy, which I have some of her other notebooks. Well, there we go right there. That's her Etsy information. And they do bleed a little bit in the bigger size notebooks that are in my traveler's notebooks. So I thought I could use this as an ink blot, like an ink swatch thing, because I don't plan on having a crap ton of inks. I'm afraid to use inks with shimmer or sparkly things in it because I've heard they clog the pens. I eventually will be buying a TWSBI Eco because I think they're better for shimmery inks, but I don't really plan on doing that anytime soon. I've got what I have and I love that right now and I'm okay with it. These inks will last me forever, so there's no rush, but shimmery inks will not be going in these guys because I don't think they'll handle it. And if I have to clean out a nib, I'll just cry because I don't know how. Probably throw the whole thing out and just buy a new one. So then I wanted this to be ink swatches. Didn't go well. This paper is way too absorbent and I put the drop of ink down and the paper sucked it up before I could even grab my thing to swatch it around. It went right through. I was smart and had a backup paper there. So I can't use this for ink swatches. And now I feel like, amazing, I've destroyed this whole book because this was its plan and I cannot. So I need an ink swatch journal, but I don't want to buy a whole journal to have it dedicated to ink swatches because I won't have that many. So I'm like stressing over this. It's ridiculous, the things I stress about, but I don't know where to put ink swatches. Not a big deal because here's what I have. 1, 2. That's it. I'm looking at inks like all day, every day. I'm obsessed with watching people's currently inked YouTube videos. Like I literally fall asleep to watching these videos. I'm obsessed. But again, I won't buy anything with sheen or shimmer because I'm scared. Anyway, that's my ink pen journey. Oh yeah, I thought I would show you. The difference between the nibs isn't really, like these kind of all look the same. So that one is fine, that one is extra fine, and that one is fine. If anything, the Majon Black Ink Fine nib looks thinner than the Lamy Safari Fine and Extra Fine. I don't know, but let's see what happened here. We actually, not as much ghosting as I was expecting. A slight bleed through right there, ever so slightly, but not nearly as much ghosting as I was expecting. This is, I don't even know what this is. It's a legit no-name brand. There's zero information anywhere in this guy. So yeah, I've caught myself looking on Amazon for notebooks, and then I've stopped myself because I need to make it through the notebooks I have. And if my ink bleeds, so be it. Deal with it. You have these notebooks that you need to use first. So anyway, I'll try to remember to link this. Oh, I just bumped my camera. Sorry. I'll try to remember to link this on Amazon. I know that they were almost sold out. That's why I bought it when I did. And it will be the Canadian link, just so as you know. They had other colors though. So love it. I'm obsessed. And now we're on to the decks that I purchased without birthday money. This was just my own deck purchases in the month of February. So the first one I bought, this is one, I've been on the hunt for an astrology deck and I kind of only wanted to have one astrology deck. So I wanted to make sure it was a good one. And this was not on my radar. I've seen this deck for a couple of years now. It has never been one I wanted. It was never one that I thought I would buy. The color palette is not my aesthetic. I'm just gonna take it out here. I wasn't gonna do this part. I have filmed a video on how to use this deck or how I've been using this deck because I think it's so useful when learning your birth chart. And That wasn't the intent behind trying to find an astrology deck, but when I came across this one and I saw Lisa Papez did a video on it, it really intrigued me. And I am trying to learn more about my birth chart, so this was really helpful. Okay, we'll stop talking about it and tell you what it is. It's the Heavenly Bodies Astrology deck. The Heavenly Bodies Astrology, the deck. Oh no, this says the guidebook, this says the deck. So it's by Lily Ashwell, and the book, I talk way more about it in the video that I'm going to do, but in case you're not familiar, let's drop them all. This is what she looks like, and I do have to keep them in order because I won't be taking them out of order. So this deck was not on my radar because I don't really jive with the colors, with the artwork. It's not my absolute favorite. No particular reason. Like, it's not like I hate it. Obviously, I've purchased it, but it wasn't something that stood out to me. But like I said, after seeing Lisa Papez's video and she kind of explains how you use it, I was like, oh my gosh, that is brilliant. It's so well done, well thought out in the terms of learning your birth chart. So really cool. Part of my requirement was when I got an astrology deck, I wanted it to also be able to be used as a regular old oracle in case my astrology studies failed. I got bored and I just wanted a regular oracle. This deck would not be useless to me because it's just an astrology deck. So this deck does do that. In the guidebook, there is a omen section. So if we're looking at the Libra card, all the stuff with how you use it, the keywords and whatever for how you use it with your birth chart, but then the omen section, which talks about meaning if you just pulled it as an oracle card. So this was an Amazon purchase. This deck is expensive. It was like $54.99 Canadian, which is crazy for a mass market oracle deck. I like to keep my oracle decks in the $30 Canadian range. So this one was a bit of, I had to think about it. Then I did see, I had to write it down. It did come up 22% off on Amazon. It probably has come up for more than that, but I saw the 22% off and I was like, okay, that's a little better. So I did make that purchase and I haven't been using it too much. I've been using it with the Venus in transits a bit, but as far as my birth chart goes, I haven't really busted it out for that at the moment. But yeah, that's that deck. Then the other deck I purchased, which I did film a little flippity through for you. So I'll just insert that here. So the first deck I bought, the only deck I bought, I don't know, I can't even remember now, with non-birthday money, is the Abaton Keys Oracle. This I initially saw on Meg's channel a while ago and immediately loved it and immediately went to purchase it. And you have to like submit a request to purchase on her website, on Patty Allen's website. And it scared me because it's not like you just get to add it to cart and then you get to see all the shipping and taxes and all that jazz. You have to request an invoice from her basically, and she responds via email and tells you the cost and all that jazz. That really scared me because I would feel really bad if it was really expensive and had to be like, oh, no, thank you. The cost of the deck itself was only 19 something Canadian. Shipping was 9 something. So immediately I was like, yes. And she lives super close to me. She actually was like, do you want to come pick it up? But she's on like the other side-ish of Toronto from me. And I never ever go to that side of Toronto. So I was like, no, just ship it. But nonetheless, this is an independently published deck with a guidebook for less than 30 Canadian dollars. So yes, please. Meg did a video, and then Project Refine Life did a video recently where she talked about it, and I was like, oh yeah, because I forgot all about it. So that's when I bit the bullet and sent the email or sent the request on her website. Is her website on here? Oh, that's weird. The US and Canadian price appears to be the same price. Didn't notice that. Huh. Weird. Anyway, just Google the Abaton Keys and you'll get her website. And then she responded and told me the price. And like I said, I was like, yes. And then just ship it to me because I'm not driving to the other side of scary Toronto. So the concept of this deck, this is actually the second time I filmed this because when I was reading this before, I didn't notice that I had tilted it. It's very glossy, very shiny. And I had tilted it in such a way that all you saw was my chin reading, my chin reflected on the back of the box. So we're filming again. But the Abaton was a room in the healing temples of ancient Greece where dreamers would go to sleep with the hopes of meeting the god of healing, Asclepius, in their dreams and finding a cure for their physical, mental, and emotional ailments. The Abaton Keys, a dream healing oracle deck, helps you access your own inner Abaton to find wisdom and healing. Healing, period. Included are step-by-step instructions on how to use the keys, along with extra information on how to prepare for a reading, how to create a sacred space, the 4 different suits with layers of meanings for each, as well as a numerology section to help you find additional meaning in the number of each key. Very cool. So if you want to pause to read any more of that, go for it. The book, fantastic book. So we talk about, in the table of contents, she outlines the suits and their corresponding elements. So wisdom is air, drama is water, ritual is earth, and medicine is fire. And then in the, cool, didn't even notice that there was one of those, probably for each section, each suit. Cool. So then each card has a word on it. Sometimes it's a person and sometimes this is quietude. And then it talks about that word. It explains that word. Let's find another one. Let's find out with a person. Incubation. Okay, so this suit appears to all just be regular words. Here we go. So she talks about the keyword and then tells you how to pronounce it. So whoever the person's name is gives you how to pronounce it, and it gives you information about that person or God, and then you get your oracle message. So really like it. Oh, there's their pictures. Love it. The cards themselves. So Catamancy Tarot did a rebacking video. Whoops, I got stuck in my microphone cord. And that's why. Not ideal. For the most part, I don't really care, to be honest. What I immediately noticed, though, was that the cards aren't even. So little variations in size, so they feel a little rough. And they also have these like little nubbies right there. So you definitely feel them. Don't really care. Again, it was less than $30. And then they are chippied. Don't really care, less than $30. And I was like, I'm going to edge it anyway. So you're looking at the back, so you're thinking like black or navy. Okay, there we go, a little better. So it did come like this. I didn't do this. It definitely came like this. But so you're looking at the backs, you think black or navy, and then you look at the fronts and you're like, not black or navy, maybe. So I don't really care. I don't even know if I'm going to edge it, to be honest. I don't know. I like it so much, and the price is there, so I don't care. So definitely collage style. And my first reading came up with this card. And it was exactly what I was going through at the time and what I needed to hear. So love it when that happens. Sidebar though, there's a movie from the 90s called Existenz. And I want to say it has Elizabeth Shue in it, but it's not. It's someone that looks just like Elizabeth Shue, but it's not. And every time I see the word existence, I think Existenz because of that movie. So that is unfortunate. But fantastic deck. I love the guidebook. This card reminds me of When Olga Speaks. Also reminds me of the Voyager Tarot. Can't remember if I said that already, but definitely reminds me of the Voyager Tarot. And I absolutely love it. The suits are color coded if you haven't picked up on that already. I mean, you've probably seen this deck because it has made the rounds in the channels a little bit. Not too crazy, but it's definitely made the rounds. Just love it. So that is the deck I purchased with non-birthday monies in February. Let's give it a shuffle because I can't remember how it shuffles. I want to say it's fine. And also the fact that it's already kind of a little bit beat up, I feel like I can be a little rough with it. Oh, little chunky. Oh, let's do it again. So we got 44 cards because there is 4 suits and each suit has 11 cards. A little better. There we go. That's better. That's mo better. So yeah, great little indie oracle deck for an insanely cheap price. I don't think I'm going to reback mine because I don't have faith in myself. Catamancy Tarot made that look so easy, but it also made it too thick for the box. So I don't know how I feel about that. Although this box I've had trouble with, we'll see if it happens. Everything getting caught on that little tab on the inside. Yeah, crap. So then we just do it this way. Please don't get caught. Oh, no. There we go. So maybe it's best to not to keep her in the box. I don't know. No, I love that. I'm struggling on YouTube. Okay. That's that. So 2 oracle decks purchased with my own monies in the month of February. And then there is a deck that I purchased with birthday money. So we'll do the birthday haul section. We'll just start popping in the videos of my birthday haul stuff. So here we go. I've never done this before. I've never really received any like witchy things for my birthday. No tarot decks, nothing like that. And technically I didn't this year either, but I received money. And with that money, I bought some things. So I'm just going to talk about some of the things I purchased with that money. So first of all, I've made it my 2024 mission to learn astrology. And Yasmin Boland, I used to get her agendas every single year, and this is the first year I haven't done it. I am kind of missing it for a couple of things. She talks about how each moon, the new moon and the full moon, affects you based on your house. So that's kind of interesting, and I am missing that a little bit. But I have this book, and this gives a more generalized meaning. So new moon in each sign. So we just had a new moon in Aquarius. So it just kind of goes through Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sag, Cap, Aquarius. So some things you can do for new moons in Aquarius. So then new moon in each house, full moon ceremony, full moon in each sign, and daily moon. So where the moon is on any given day, and same thing. So her astrology book had been on my list for a long time, and it's part of a bookmark. So I thought I would get this and start learning. One of the things I want to learn this year is my house. So she does talk about houses. She also has spots where you can input information about your own birth chart. Was that one of them? No, I don't think so. Which the whole reason I'm pointing this out, you'll see in a second. Yeah, here we go. I'm not going to use this book to do that. This is more of an information gathering session for me. Because I bought this book. So I found it at a store that I was at. Let's get these out of the way for now. And I do have artificial light today. The sun was supposed to come out and it hasn't yet. And the Weather Network still says it's coming out, and it's like 2. No, it's 1. And it still is looking very gloomy. So eventually there'll be some glare. But anyway, astrology, a guided workbook to understand and explore the wisdom of the universe. This one I am going to fill out. I am going to use this one. So birth chart, all that jazz. So this is really interactive, and I'm really looking forward to using it to better understand my birth chart. So these two things were part of my astrology journey, and hopefully I will get to reading and get to filling out. Then I went to the magazine section, and what I really wanted was a monthly subscription magazine that talked about everything happening in the skies for each month. I think you can get them online. I won't read it online. I know myself. But then I saw this. I have no idea what this is like. There's that light. I just thought, I don't know, it would be cool to read. I don't know how cliche and generalized it's going to be, but yeah, I thought this would be really fun to read, you know, every once in a while when you don't want to commit to like a full-blown chapter read. Just grab a story from the magazine. And then similarly, this one. So same deal. I am cautiously optimistic. Oh, so pretty. So we'll see how these go. And then jewelry. My mom got me this ring. We went shopping and she got me this bad boy. So this is Amolite. It is a fossil. Oh, the artificial light is helping here. Of like a snail type thing. And I just think it's really pretty. So stunning. And then I did order some things for myself. So this video will have to be continued when those goodies come in the mail. So one of my purchases that took the longest to get here is my crystals from Equilibrio Gems in Aurora, Ontario. Now the reason it took the longest to get here was because I made these purchases over some Instagram live sales, and you can have an open box for 30 days. And the reason for doing this is to try and get to the free shipping amount. So you wait until you have enough. I think it's $150. I did not even come close, but the 30 days hit. So she sent out my box. It's fine. The shipping is not that crazy. So you can order from her website, or you can order from the Instagram live sales, or both. So if you do an Instagram live purchase and then you look at her website and you see something on the website that you'd like to buy, you can add it to your box, and that does count towards your shipping amount. So I got to my 30 days and she sent me my box. I just make small purchases. I don't have a lot of big statement pieces, so I didn't even come close to the free shipping. But nonetheless, it is still very exciting to get these in, and they are all individually bubble wrapped, which is a tedious process. So I'm going to unwrap them off camera and come back. All right, box is opened and everything is unpackaged. I was going to unpackage everything on camera, but everything was very tightly bubble wrapped, so it would have just been a lot of me struggling with bubble wrap, and I didn't feel like editing that. So everything's unpackaged and ready to be gawked at. I did have a slight location change because I was losing my light way too quickly in that other window, so I moved to a west-facing window. First one, we have this Trolite cube. I'm not a fan of crystals in cube forms. I do love my tumbles. I'm a tumble girl because you can quickly and easily toss them in your purse or in your bra. In this case, not in the bra. We're not putting that in the bra. But it's so beachy. I just love the beach vibes with this Trolite. I think I'm saying it right. Trolite cube. The next stuff I'm going to show came in a set. It was a set of 3. I didn't really want the first 2 items I'm going to show. I wanted the last one, but it was a set, so we had to get them all. Got to catch them all. This is a selenite. I think this is called a charger. I already have 2 of these, so now I have 3. I did read somewhere that they're good for meditating. So you put one in one hand and the other in the other hand and meditate with these. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with this aside from set it with my other ones and have it sit there and look pretty. The next piece that came with that kit, I don't have one of these, is a blue rose quartz tumble. the color isn't translating correctly on camera really, but the purple matte isn't helping. But we'll see in a second. So that's a blue rose quartz tumble. And then the one that I actually wanted is this pink calcite bowl dish. It's more pink in real life. It's a soft pink. It's not like a hardcore pink. Pinks I find don't translate right on camera. Does that give a, nope, that doesn't even pick up. This has a little bit of a lavender look to it, and that's not picking up on camera either, but in person, I promise you, it's a lavendery bluey color. So that came as a set. The next one is a smoky quartz sphere, and there's this slit in the middle, which makes it very rainbowy. You can see my fence in my backyard. These were all rainbow pieces. All the pieces she had were rainbow. So I had to grab me one of these because it's just so stunning. So that's a smoky quartz sphere. And then who are we doing next? This one I don't have. It was really interesting and really cheap. I've never heard of it before. This is called Hoolandite. And it's got some really interesting, I think that's a piece of stilbite, that like bar right there. So really interesting formations on the inside. Again, this is more of a softer pink in person. The camera's making it look pretty peachy, but it's a very soft pink, very similar to, I guess, kind of what's going on in there. It's got some stuff happening on the bottom, stuff happening on the top at the back. And it does stand up like this. But we're gonna put her down like this so you guys can see her. So that's Hoolandite. Then another piece I don't have, it's quite common. This is Apophyllite. It's a little itty bitty cluster purposely purchased for my windowsill. I think you can keep Apophyllite in the sun. So, whoop, bump the camera. So there is some rainbows. Wow, really bumping the camera. There is some rainbows in here, but I don't think the angle of this lighting will quite pick it up. And that is a piece of the peachy part, is a piece of stilbite. And I don't know if it's calcite that's giving it that blue color. A lot of times apophyllite is just white, like quartz. So it might be some calcite. I could be totally wrong about that, giving it the blue color. And the last piece is this gorgeous piece. This is hard to see because you're getting, and I just hit the camera again. You're getting the reflection of my blinds and my fence and my camera. But garden quartz is so stunning. It's like a whole world inside a crystal. And I have a piece of garden quartz, but it's way more quartz than it is garden, and it's green. Whatever in the green chunk is very, very minimal. But this is pink garden quartz. It's kind of picking up the pink color, so I'm happy about that. There is some rainbows in this guy over here, right there. But this is, yeah, it's just, I could honestly look at this for hours. I could get lost in this. So that's the garden quartz palm stone, and that's everything. That's what I got with my crystal birthday haul. Birthday haul tarot deck that I purchased with birthday money is the Outgrow Yourself Tarot and Oracle by Acta Spauman or Linda Spauman. So what happened with this was I ordered it, my birthday's at the beginning of the month, so I ordered it at the beginning of the month, and then I waited like 2.5 weeks. The email said that you would get a like shipping, I guess, confirmation email when it shipped. And I waited like 2.5 weeks and I never got it. So I did contact her and she said, oh, you should have like received it by now. So she sent me another one. Very, very kind. And this was here, considering it came from Sweden, it was here very quickly. Also extremely affordable for an indie deck. This was like 60 Canadian dollars, which it doesn't come with a guidebook. So I feel like that price point, like all these crazy prices for indie decks that don't come with a guidebook. Like, I get it. We all know tarot and oracle. We probably shouldn't need a guide. Not we all. If you know tarot and oracle, you probably don't need a guidebook. And that was an argument that has been made in the past about that kind of situation. But for me, if it's $1,000,000, I want a guidebook. Not only that, I do wish this one had a guidebook a little bit, because it talks about the flowers. Like, she even says, like, use the flowers. The flowers will guide you in everyday, every way decisions and offer eternal wisdom. So I don't know, I kind of wish there was a little write-up about the flowers and what kind of flowers they are and why they were chosen. But for 60 Canadian dollars, don't care. So I know, I know that some people received theirs in 2 separate cellophane packages, and subsequently the edges were different in each of those. Mine came in 1 cellophane package, and my edges are uniform, the same, it's the same height. So I don't know if that's a new thing going forward that she's doing, or I don't know what happened there, but mine did not come that way. I will probably eventually edge it in black, but I'm going to work with it for a little bit first, get to know her a bit, and then we'll hang out while I edge her at some point later. So this deck, I'm trying to work in this like slice of natural light. This deck is going to help me in my Thoth journey. That was the whole purpose of making this purchase. If it had been an astronomical amount of money, I wouldn't have bought it, just because I can work with the Thoth deck and get the same result. But what I liked about this deck was that it can be used as both. So if it's not working for me for a Thoth deck, well, I've just got myself a cool oracle from it. And everyone's talking about their everyday carry decks right now with that with those VRs. I think this would be a perfect everyday carry because it's both tarot and an oracle. So it works both ways. As far as me using it as an everyday carry, I don't want to keep it in the tuck box because I've learned the hard way, when you put a tuck box in your purse, it basically starts to disintegrate. So don't want to wreck the tuck box. So I'm going to have to put it in a bag. I don't want to put it in like a Lisa Papez bag because then the corners start to get roughed up from rubbing up against the bag, and the cards, like if they're in a bag, they're not exactly even. So the chances of something getting bent is greater if it's just in a bag. So I think I might get like, I have leather bags that I can keep it in, or leather pocket type things. So I might put it in that, although that takes up more room in the purse. So still working that one out, obviously. The other thing with this deck, and this is partially why I bought it, was that it has just the keyword for the numbered minors, except for the aces. That's going to make my brain work. However, in playing around with it, I noticed my brain's not ready for that work. And there were people in their walkthroughs or in YouTube comments on walkthroughs that said they were going to get like a white pen or marker or a silver Sharpie and put the titles on those cards. That's not me. The thought of writing on a tarot card stresses me out. Any card, oracle, tarot, anything. I do not like my writing enough for that. And I also feel like it would be the first thing my eyes went to because it wouldn't be cohesive with the card. It would look like I wrote on it. And then I would just turn the card over and be like, oh, look, there's your stupid 5 staring back at you. I don't like my 5s. So I still wanted to put keywords on it, but I wanted them to be subtle. I didn't want it to be the first thing I saw. I wanted to make my brain work. So I have written on this. I've written on these, the numbered minors, except for the aces. This has writing on it. This has writing on it. This has writing on it. Can you see it? You probably can't, because I'm purposely holding it in a way that you can't see it. I'm so proud of myself for thinking of this. I had this Sharpie in my pen drawer. It's got this fine tippy, and I wanted a Sharpie specifically because Sharpies tend to have that like sheen. They're not a true black. And I've complained about that in the past. When you edge a deck with a Sharpie, it's not a true black. Certain ways the light hits it, it catches that different color, especially on cardstock paper. But I wanted that in this case. I wanted to be able to tilt it and see that. So here we have, oh, nope. Here we go. Disappointment. So I just used the number and then the letter of the starting suit, and I'm obsessed with my decision. You can see it flat on. Like I can't really see it from the angle that I'm looking at it right now, but you can see the sheen angle, and then there are some ways when you look at it when you can see the black angle. And I love it so much because it doesn't stand out right away, and it makes me think first about what that keyword is, and then if I'm struggling, oh, okay, well, I'll just see what I wrote on it. And I think it's brilliant. Such a great idea. I was very stressed doing it. Like literally hands shaking as I was doing it because it goes against everything I want to do or don't want to do with a tarot deck. I only did it with the numbered minors. I thought about doing it with the knights because the knights are kings in Thoth, which I know, but I feel like in the moment, in the reading, I'm going to pull a knight and just instinctually, without even thinking about it, read it as a knight and not a king. So I did think about doing something on these cards, but king also starts with K. So then I thought about maybe putting like a little crown, but I didn't love that idea. So for now, I've left them blank. I can always go back and do it later if I'm finding I'm reading them as knights. So we'll see how that goes. And I know that lust is strength, so I didn't have to do it for the lust card. The other one I did do it for was the Aeon card because sometimes I struggle to remember that one. So I did put a J for judgment. We've probably already passed it, but yeah. So that's what I did. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that. I think it was a big step in my, it's okay, you can do this and not ruin something journey. I just thought it was brilliant of me. And then my ugly fives, I only have to see them if I have to look at them. That's an 8, not a 5. 3. Let's see if we can get a sample of my 5 so you can see what I'm talking about. 6. 7. How about you give me everyone except a 5? I don't like my 4s either, but here we go. Not my favorite. But yeah, that's what I did. And I'm really proud of it. I think it'll get the job done. It'll get the trick done. And if I don't like my Thoth journey, if I'm not having fun, well, I have a cool oracle. I also thought that this was a printing error on mine, but going through walkthroughs, I see that they all have that. So just means you can't really, I mean, you can read reversals with it. I'm not a reversal person. If the card pops out upside down, I'll read it as a reversal. But for the most part, I tend to just like go with the energy. Like if something comes up a certain way, if it comes up upright, but I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of feeling the reversed energy from it. That's kind of that's how I roll. I don't like my cards to be upside down in the deck. Bothers me. So let's see the other thing about this box. Oh, it didn't do it. Sometimes they get caught on that inner lip, but I didn't do it that time. There we go. Birthday haul deck and ballsy mod for me. And that's it. That's February. I will be posting my video that I did for the Heavenly Bodies deck. I wanted to post this one first where I talk about buying it. And that'll be coming out probably in the next week or so. So keep your eyes peeled for that if it's something that you're interested in, if you want to see how it works for reading your birth chart. I have not started this one yet. I have not started inputting stuff in it. I'm actually really excited, but I do want to dedicate like I want to kind of make it a little bit ritualistic. Like I don't want to just like, you know, plunk down and do it while something's on TV or whatever. I kind of really want to get my mind into it. I really want to wrap my mind around it. I also haven't read any articles from these guys, not one. So that's something that I want to do as well. I think I don't really want to bring these into work. Like I would like to read them on my break or whatever, because they're nice little quick articles to get through in your 15-minute break. But I don't like they're magazines and I don't want to wreck them bringing them into work. So I do get to work from home 2 days a week. So I'll probably start reading these on my breaks at home, where they can stay safe and not get damaged. And the other one I have started reading through is this one. So I'm only that far into it. We're not really that far, but it does have spots to write in. I think I mentioned I won't be writing in this one. I'll save that for the other one. The paper just, I don't know. It's quite thin. I don't know how I feel about writing on it. But yeah, all kinds of stuff about birth charts as well. So I'm really getting into the birth chart stuff, in case that wasn't made obvious by this entire video. So that's it. That's February 2024. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.